Hi guys, and welcome to Visual C++ tutorial of school management system. So let me show you guys how this works. We can exit if we want. We don't want to exit, we can reset the old information and enter new student details in here. Okay, that's new student details. So we have that very alright. So now let's enter the student name, and the name is John. The other name, John Rocky. Address of Mr. Rocky, number 13, Wallet Avenue. Mail. Date of birth. This is 2000. Mobile number. And email. Let's see. Rocky@gmail. Guidance. Mom. And that is Grace. Grace Rocky. There we go. An address of Miss Rocky. Paste that in there. Mobile number, almost the same. There we go. Paste that there. And email address. Call that G Rocky. There we go. And the course is on some computer science and so on, guys. All you then need to do is to add the details of John Rocky. When you click on this, we should be able to see all of his details here. So let's go back and click on it. There we go, successful. There. Now let's come back in here. That's John Rocky's details. And the other thing is John Rocky's details is officially added straight onto the database. Look at the database. There's nothing of Rocky on the database. So let's click on refresh. There we go. There we go. That's Rocky's details now. We can minimize that and go come back in here. And see you guys with the full tutorial. Hi guys, and welcome to Visual C++ tutorial of a school management system with MySQL Database. I'm going to start by clicking on Create New. Okay, once the dialog box is ready, you now want to select clrmtproject.net. If you don't have that here, all you need to do is to make sure you select Visual or C++ in here. Okay, and you then look for the clrmt project. Okay, so I'm going to click on Next. Make sure it is selected. So let's click on Next. Okay, I'm going to give my project a name. I'll just call that CPP. Let's say SM8. Okay, that stands for School Management System. So I'm going to click on Create. Okay, now that the development environment is ready, I will now click on the Solution Explorer there. Just open that up. There, you see right here, that's the properties. Click on the properties. And there this dialog box pops up. You see here where we have configuration management or configuration manager. Click on the configuration manager and let's change this Win32 platform to 64-bit. Let's drop that down and select 64-bit. And where we have active solution platform, I'm going to change that to 64-bit as well. There, and make sure you have the debug on, and let's click on close. There we go. Now back to this dialog here, configuration. Right here where we have the link, drop the link down and let's select system. Inside the system, we now want to select subsystem. Drop that down and let's select Windows subsystem Windows. There we go. Now back to the linker again. We now want to select advanced. Once you select the advanced, you see right here where we have enter point or entry point. I'm going to change that to main. Done. Click on apply and then click on OK. That's done. So let's come back into this Solution Explorer. You see where you have the name of your project. Right click on it and let's select Add. And inside the Add dialog, we want to select the new item. There we go. Once that is selected, we now want to select UI, or you can select CLR. Once CLR or UI is selected, select the window forms. That's the default name. You can always keep this default name, the choice is yours. So I'm going to click or keep this default name and click on Add. Once that is clicked on, we should be able to see the name here, myform.h. Click on that. Now that's building up. And that is it. We automatically end up with an error. So I'm going to go straight into my Solution Explorer again. That is myform.h. Double click on myform.h to open up the code area. There we go. So that's myform.h. So I'm going to take you guys straight to a forum. Right in there, the following lines of codes are made available for you guys. Okay, and I will also include the URL of this forum onto my description area. So just let's copy these lines of codes here. Copy that, and I'm going to paste that same lines of code right underneath here. There we go. Now you will have an error here. So asking us the name for my project. The name of my project is CPP SMS. So CPP SMS, that is it right there. Once I click on that to select my project name, this error should be gone, and that's it. So I'm going to save that. So that means my system is now ready. However, if I run it, you guys will see the form, but on the Solution Explorer, the form is not there. Okay, so let's run it. Let's see how the form will look like at runtime. Right there, guys, that is the form. Okay, but we won't be able to do anything with this form yet. So I'm going to close it, close the form, and let's go straight into the Solution Explorer here. As you can see, the form is not there. So the only way we can see this form is to close everything and reopen the program again. It's like you're refreshing the whole program. So I'm going to close it and let's start it all over. There we go. So that is the program right there. I'm going to click on that and let's go straight into the Solution Explorer. It's coming up. There. As you can see, those are the lines of code copied from the forum. So let's go into the Solution Explorer now, and right there, that is our form. It's now generated. Double click on that form. It's coming up. There, that's the form. So let's go straight into the properties of that very form. Now that you guys know how to create a form, I'm now going to change the size of that to 1388 by 788. There we go. Right. Before I go any further, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back in here. So I'm going to click on here. You see where we have references. Let's right click on it, on the reference, and select Add Reference. There we go. Now, you see in here, I'm going to type in MySQL. There we go. That is it right there. Make sure it is checked. Okay, and you just then need to click on OK. There, that is it. Now, okay, if you come back to your references here and drop it down, you should be able to see your MySQL.data right there. Okay, let's go into the code view there, and I'm going to go right up here. You see up here, I'm now going to just enter as follows. Let's just copy that. Okay, I'm just going to paste the namespace in there, and let's link it up with MySQL. And we say data. There we go. Then column MySQL client. There. Now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to come right underneath here, and then in my public reference class. So I'm going to create a constructor underneath here. Let's say MySQL connection there, and that is, let's create my own local object in there. So I'm going to say equals new. No, that's garbage collector. That will be new space MySQL connection. Grab all of these and just paste it here. Enter parentheses and semicolon. Yeah, the very first one is taken care of. Okay, let's create another one for my command. I'm just gonna grab all of these and change it around. And this will be for command, and the connection will be MySQL command. Yeah, grab that. Alright, that's fine. Now for my data table, I'm going to say data table LDT, and that is going to be garbage collector new equals table there. Now let's take care of my adapter. So MySQL data adapter, and I'm just going to call that SQL DTA equals new garbage collector. And let's just grab this, paste that here. There we go. Now we need one more, the reader. Let's see the reader, MySQL reader. Data reader is called data reader. Yeah. And I'm just going to call that SQL RD. Enter semicolon. There we go. Okay, let's add the data set. So I'm going to enter data set, and that is, let's just call it DS equals new data set. So let's say data set there. All right. Okay, the next thing is I'm now going to let's create a string variable, and this very string variable, I'm going to call that SQL query. Yeah, that's fine. There. And right underneath, I'm going to create some other string variable that will address my server username and password. So let's say the server that is going to be equals, I'm going to call that local host. There, one down. The next one is going to be for the username, and the username is root. There we go. And password, let's go for password. I want to call that, my password, just make that 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah, that's the password I regularly use anyway. Alright, and the name of the application, no, the name of the database itself, I'm going to have to create another database. Let's paste what I've just copied. Let's say database, and that is going to be equals. I think I've already created one. That shouldn't be a problem for you guys to create a database there. Right. And let me show you my database. So come in here, that is it right here. SMC or SMS database, that is it right here. So that is the table, and here are those are the columns. Okay, so let's see the table. I'm going to double click on the table. That's it. Okay, that's my database. So if you want to create that, all you need to do is to click on the schema right here, and you can just create yours. Just give it a name, whatever you want to call it. Okay, that is how you create your own database. So that's no big deal. It's easy to create. Previous tutorial, I have a lot of database in there that I've created. So let's continue with the development of this C++ anyway. Now, the next thing is, I think I'm going to have to develop my interface. Then we'll come back. Let's develop the interface first, because nothing has been done with the interface. This is it right here. It's empty. Come on. Right. So now I'm going to go straight into the tools here. Click on the tools, and now need I need tab control. Let's tab. Let's see where is that. There we go. That's it right there. Tab control, and I'll now take it right down. Something that much. That's fine. Okay, I'm now going to select my tab so that I can change the details of those. So let's look for the properties. Where's the property? There. So let's go into the tab right here. Click on the tab, and the very first tab, page 1, I'm going to change the text of that to school system. There. And the next one, I'm just going to change that to student details, something like that. That's fine. Alright, click on OK. So you see this background. Oh, where's my property again? This is the background. Let me change the background to cadet blue. Where's the background color? Right here. Instead of transparent, I'm just going to type in. No, I don't want that. I'm going to type in cadet blue in there. That's fine. Alright, let's add a panel. There we go. We have a panel in there, but this panel, I don't want it to be a cadet blue, so I'm going to change the color of that very panel. I'm going to change that to control. So let's type in control in there. There we go. Now just copy this control across. Hold on to your shift key or to the control key and just drag. There we go. And select the 3 and just bring it down as well, because I'm going to need, hold on to the control and just bring it down. Alright, I'm going to now add labels. Yeah, we got one. Bring it here, and text box. Okay, so I will need about 7 of those here, and I will also need control. No, I need ComboBox. Yeah, ComboBox right there. Label here, and select all of these, copy and bring it down. So I'm going to repeat the same thing for the other ones here. Bring this here, and I will then just speed up the whole process, guys. All I'm just doing is just adding tabs and text box. Okay, select this, no, this one, bring it here. So I'm going to speed that up, guys, and get back to you shortly. And that's it. That is how the system is looking now, guys. Okay, I've just added ComboBox and labels and so on. So you should know how to design your own interface. Okay, there's one more that I need to add in here. So I'm going to click in here, and here I want to change that to, let's grab DataGridVeiw. There we go, DataGridVeiw. Just drag that and paste that in there. Right, that is fine. Now I'm going to take it down, right down. There we go, guys. That's my DataGridVeiw in place. Okay, all done. So let's go back in here. Now I'm going to just run it. Let's save it first though. Let's run and see how that's going to look like. Right there, guys, this is how it's all looking now, and I've also entered some value in here. That shouldn't be a problem for you guys to do. Let's exit out and let's go right underneath here, right underneath the pragma here. Let's see, and create the following function for the database itself, right underneath here. Okay, I'm going to start by, let's say we'll create a private function. Let's copy all of these, copy and paste that in here, and I'm going to call the name of this function upload DB. There we go. That's the name of my function. Now what I want to do is I'm going to call my SQL com that I declared earlier. Okay, and I will ask you to make reference to my connection string right here. Let's get rid of this. And that is going to be equals, it's a server equals, and I'm going to come out of there and just say plus server, which I already have up there, plus, and I also have my username and so on. So I'm going to say plus username. Okay, let's say user ID equals, no, not I might as well stick to lowercase. User ID equals, come out of there and just say plus the username plus, let's go for all of these then, copy that, paste that there, and the next one is going to be the password. Password equals, grab all of these, and that will be equals password. And let's say plus first, plus password there. And what is left for me now is the database. Let's come right down here and I'm going to enter my database, I'm just going to say plus database. There we go. Alright, so that's taken care of. So let's grab my SQL connector here, the variable I'm going to say then refer to open the database, and this database, let's use the following command. Say SQL command dash connector, and that is going to be connection here, and this connection, we get all of this data from this connector that we have in here. There. Enter semicolon. Now for the command, I now want that to SQL command to get hold of SQL command text, and what text are we talking of? Let's use SQL statement here. Select all from my database that I created from SMS. That is the name of the database. If you guys can still recall, right here, that is the database SMS. Let's open it up. I guess you guys know how to create a database anyway, so that shouldn't be a problem. There we go. Make sure you create by selecting the schema, give it a name, and so on. Alright, that is my database that I've created, and I have in total 15 columns, so minimize that. Now we want the database to be able to read from we actually want the system to be able to read from the database. So let's say SQL reader. It should be an L there, yeah. SQL read, that will be equals read whatever we have inside a command and get it executed. Grab that, paste that in here. Now say execute reader. There. Enter parentheses. And what else to know? Execute reader, not end reader. Execute reader. Now we don't want our SQL data table. We want it to load whatever we have inside the reader itself. Let's put that in a quote here. SQL read. There. Now that is taken care of, we make use of read, so we might as well close it. Copy and close it. Dash close. Enter parentheses. We also need to close the connector here, so I'm going to grab it, paste it right there, close. There. Now I need to be able to display all of these data into the DataGridVeiw. So let's open up that's the DataGridVeiw. So let's grab that. I'm back in here, right underneath here, paste that DataGridVeiw dash data source. And the data source that we need for our DataGridVeiw, that is going to be equals SQL data table. There, that is it, taken care of. So I'm going to call this, let's copy that, I'm going to call this in form load. Let's open up the form itself. Okay, let's double click on the form itself, double click on that, and right here, form load. There we go, enter semicolon. Alright, so that is fine. The error should disappear, yet gone. Okay, now one more thing. we now need, suppose if we have data in there now, we will be able to view the data right away, but we don't seem to have any data in there. Okay, so let's come in here. This is my SQL statement. I have nothing in there yet. Okay, so let's click on the table and you guys see that there's nothing in there except if I decide to enter data in here. Do that. Alright, if we decide to enter some value in here and then enter a name in here, let's say the name is Paul, and let's come in here, so name Paul Roman, address number 1, Boston. So I'm just going to fill up that and get back to you guys. Then we can view, we'll be able to view this data straight straight on my system. So let me speed that up. Alright, I've just entered some data into my database, so I'm going to save that. Let's click on apply. There we go, finish. So let's minimize that. I just want to make sure that my DataGridVeiw here is working. I'm going to save that. So I expect this, my function, to be able to gain access straight into this data that I've entered to this database. Alright, so as you can see, there's nothing in there yet. So let's run the system and see. Click on run. Alright, decision time, guys. So if I click on my student data here, you see there, you are able to view, or we can view the details of Paul and the details that I enter onto my database here. Okay, so let's minimize that, and we need to correct that anyway. Put it now there and refresh that. Apply, finish. There, even this correction that I've made now, we should be able to see that when I refresh this. So I am going to, okay, just close that. Now the other thing that I didn't show to you guys is, you see, let's run it again. When I click on the add button here, there is nothing happening, and exit, there's nothing happening. So what we want to achieve is for us to be able to enter data in here. When we click on this, we should be able to see all of the information right in here. Okay, as you can see, further the correction is made already. So I'm going to exit out, and let's double click on the add button. Oh, there we go. That's the add button there. Okay, right in here. I'm going to copy all of the above. So grab all of the above here, there, including open. Yeah, I'm just going to grab that. Come right down here. You see where we have our stats? That is add button here. Okay, or you can just go in here and click on that. Let's open it up. So come right down here, double click on the add button, and I'm going to paste that I've just copied. There we go. Alright, that is taken care of. So I'm going to now use the variable that I created called SQL query. SQL query, where is, let's try that again. Q, yeah, query, and I'm going to say equals, open up a quote, and in there I'm going to say insert into SMS, my student management database, the following. So the first one is the student ID. Okay, we have the student ID in place. Then enter a comma. The next one is first name, surname, address. Then I do have a gender. So first name, surname, address, gender. I have the date of birth, DOB, I call that. Then comma. What else do I have? I have a mobile phone, mobile, email. There. I also have the guidance details, so I call that guidance. Then we have the guidance first name, so I call that G first name. Okay, and there's a comma. I'm going to say plus so that I can go to the next line. The next one is going to be surname, G surname, and so on of the guidance. Let's grab all of these, just change it around. Here, copy that, paste that right underneath here, and I'll just change it around. Copy it again, copy and paste there. And here that is going to be surname, address. There's no gender or any of these, so that's going to be G mobile and G email. Right, now that all of that is in place, let's close that as well. And I need a value that would be in there. So the value, let me say plus here. Now come down here and I'll just say value. Value equals as follows. The first value, that is going to be TXT student ID. Student ID dash text. There. So what I'm now doing is I'm now entering all of the object that I have on my form. Okay, the student ID, all of this information, whatever we have inside here, will be stored right in here. Okay, so let's do the same thing for the next one. That will be the student, the first name, TXT first name, and so on, guys. So I'm going to speed that up and get back to you guys. Okay guys, those are all the components in place. Now let me do one thing before I continue. See here, I'm just going to enter try there, try cache. Let's close that right underneath here. There we go. And I'm going to say SQL command 1.2. Let's come down here. I'm going to say equals new MySQL command. That will be SQL query, comma, SQL con, and enter that. This should be comma. Alright, now I want it to read it as well. SQL read read equals SQL command dash execute reader is very one here there, and SQL we want that to close. That should be closed right here. There we go, and semicolon here. Okay, that is fine, taken care of. So underneath here, I'm just going to enter my cache statement, and that is exception EX. And what about my message then? I'm just going to enter message box in there, message box dot or dash show. Now what is it showing? It's showing the exception statement, which is that. Maybe that should be column show, and here dash message. And that's it. Enter semicolon. So what I'm going to then do is finally, let's say finally, I want to make sure it's closed. Then underneath here, let's call our, first of all, let's go for message box. I want the message box to display the following message, verifying that the system is officially saved, record entered successfully. There, and comma, the name of my system, that's school management system, and close that. And let's call our function as well, that is here loaddb. There we go. And that's all there is to the add function. Close that. Let's take it from the top here. Add function. Yeah. Bring it down. Let's make sure there's no error. Okay guys, so far everything looks a bit alright. I think it's looking fine. That's the name of my table there. So add new. Yeah, I can't see any error so far. So let me run it. Save that, run. Okay guys, let's enter some data in there. And here the name is Tony Montana. Of Montana. I'm just going to speed all of the information out now and get back to you guys. Change this to address though. That should be address. Alright, those are the details of Tony Montana up to the course code. The rest of it is not on the database. So I'm going to click on add. Yeah, it is successful. So let's see my table here. There we go. That's fine guys. Now let's go straight into the database. Click on the database. There's nothing about Tony Montana on this database. So I'm going to click on refresh. Let's refresh that. There we go. Look at that. The details of Tony Montana on the database. So everything is working fine. All we then need to do is to take care of these. So if I select any of these, we'll find all of the data will be, or the information will be populated here. And we also need to take care of reset, and I'm going to exit out, and let's take care of all of the reset, exit, and this very one here. So let's exit out and come right down here, design, and right here I'm just going to double click on exit. Let's take care of the exit. So with the exit, I need a system Windows, so I'm going to copy that, paste it right underneath here, and just say Windows, column, forms, column, dialog result, and the variable is called iExit. So that's fine. So come right down underneath here, and I'm going to then say my exit equals as follows. Paste that there. Equals message box. Let's grab this message box here. I'm gonna paste that right here. That should be my exit. And in here, I'm just gonna enter confirm if you want to exit. There we go. Alright. So this takes in 4 arguments. I have 1 here, so that's 2 arguments so far. Let's add another 2. Enter a comma there. The next argument is going to be message box buttons. I'm going to say dash. No, that should be column, yes or no. Now, next argument, message box icon. This icon, column. That should be, I'm going to go for question. There. So let's use an if statement to validate the selection made. So right underneath here, we'll say if I exit equals, I'm going to copy all of these, copy that, paste that right here, and that will be column, yes. Then open up curly braces, application, column, exit. There. That should take care of exits from here down here. That's my exit lines of code. Of course, you can always just enter application, column, exit, but I prefer it this way. Prompt the user to confirm if they want to exit or not. So that is fine. So we can even try it out. Let's try it out. Alright, decision time, guys. Let's try that out. No, we don't want to exit. Yes, we do want to exit. That is fine. Okay. Now, let's take care of the resets. Okay, guys, let's double click on resets to take care of that. So I'm going to start with the txt student details there. There we go. Clear that, and let's repeat the same thing for the rest. So the next one is txt first name, txt surname, now we need to repeat the same thing for the address, and so on, guys. So txt gender, no, that is CBO gender, I think. CBO gender. text we have in there, and so on, guys. So we need to do the same now for the agenda. We need DOB mobile there. So I'm going to speed that up now, and that's it, guys. All taken care of for the reset. Alright, I'm going to save that and let's run it and see how that looks like. Now, let's try that out. It's just for these student details and the guidance details that have been taken care of, and this very one here, course that you select. In the case of all these other ones, they're going to be left untouched because you can always change them to whatever you want. Okay, so if I click on reset, there we go. Apart from these ones, so let's take care of this very one here, so that when I select whatever course, all the information are populated here. Okay, once that is taken care of, we should be able to take care of all of these automatically. And if we want to change this as well, we can do that. So I'm going to exit out, and let's click on that very ComboBox. Okay, double click on this very ComboBox, and right here I'm going to copy this one. There's a ComboBox there, and underneath here I'm going to use an if statement. If combo equals the following text there, then we want txt course, and the course is, okay, we want to clear the course now. So if it's this, clear whatever we have in the course, copy that and just paste it here. There we go. Right, now we have txt course cleared. What about the faculty? Clear that as well. txt dean faculty, clear that. txt program leader, clear. txt course tutor, and we'll clear that as well. There we go. Now, one good thing is, if we click on the reset button, all of these will be cleared. So that's good. Let's run that and you guys see how that works as well. Because according to the if statement, if the selection is selected course, all of these becomes empty. So run. Okay, let's try that out. If we enter whatever in here, so let's say we have this before and we enter anything in here. If I click on select a course, there we go. Or suppose we have some data in here, and we come in here and just click on reset, that automatically reset it. So that is fine. Now, supposing we select any of these other courses, I would like this populated in here. So let's end that and continue with that. So the next one is, let's use an else if statements. We'll grab this and just say else if the data in here, do that. Let's say the data in here is BSc serious games. Now course code will become as follows: BSc SG009 faculty. That'll be School of Computer Games. There. And Dean of Faculty, let's say Professor Danny Dancing. Yeah. And course leader Femi Wills. And here I have Dr. Sammy South. There we go. So I'm going to copy that for the next guy. Copy, paste underneath here. The next course, and that is computer games. Okay, let's change that to computer games. Computer games happen to be in School of Computing as well. School of Games as well, and the course code, this one becomes CG. We can change this to whatever. Right. Here the same professor, maybe the tutor might be different. Dr. Fairley's Lorraine. Yep. Okay, so that's fine. Now the next one. Let's go for computer science. There we go. And this one become S by the course code changes. School of Computer Science. And that is Professor Peter Parker. Alright, Peter Parker. Course leader here, or program leader. That is Dr. Kingsley. Townsend. There. And that is Mike Morehouse. There we go. Alright, we have 3 of those courses. Let's just add 2 more. Copy that, come right down here. Paste. This is computing, BSc in computing. It's going to be the same, so let's change the course code entirely. Right. And the same person is handling that. Now, copy, paste for the next program. Okay guys, and that is it with the ComboBox. So I'm going to try out this program now. Let's just run it and see how that's going to work. Now click on save first and run. There we go. And let's say that is the student name, the student ID number, the name is Alan. Let's say the other name is Parker. Address of Alan Parker. Let's say Lower Lane. Mail, date of birth 12/04/990. Telephone number or mobile number. Alan's email. Let's go for Gmail. There we go. And Alan's parents' details. Let's say his dad is Peter Parker. And address is the same place. Let's copy this address, paste that in here. Mobile number and it's Peter. Say Pete there. There we go. And the course, computer science. There, those are the other informations and home student, and that's very first year. There, and the subjects. And let's say system analysis is core. That's core, and let's make games core as well for him. And let's see, we have 3 cores. Database, yeah, yes, and there we go. So what we then need to do now is to add these details. Let's see if that's going to work here. Click on add. Successful. There we go. And let's check out the student details here. That is Alan Parker's details. Now let's go straight into our database. Click on database. All we then need to do is just click on refresh. There we go. That's Alan Parker's details as well. So guys, with that, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoyed it. And you all have a nice day, and please do subscribe to my channel, and you can also join to become a member of the channel. Bye for now.